Today on the show, a little something different. We're going to do a deep dive with an old friend. You may have seen his works on Community, Harmontown, that robot, Scud, the disposable assassin. But he's also a director, a writer, a master of cardboard. His DIY cartoon art style has put a bit of a punk emphasis on his otherwise spontaneous, some would say childlike imagination. Today on the show, we're talking to Rob Schrab.
Hello.
I don't know if that works, if we can use that. If we can't, it's fine.
Close enough.
Yeah, that's kind of what
if they don't know who I am by now, they're never going to know. And that's what the theme of today is about.
Yeah. So this is a bad question, but this is something that I experience a lot, where I'll have an idea. In my head, it's a really good idea, and I'll have like a good run through, like even a good script, but I won't write it down. And then we'll be doing it. And I'll get like, say, 70% of a way of there. And then I'll be like, yeah, but I wanted it like at least 80, 85%. And then I'm like, it's never going to happen. And then I'm like, should I just throw this out? Because like 70 is okay, but it wasn't as exciting as my initial idea. Do you ever do that? Or do you
Are we talking like a feature script or what?
Even like a joke? Like a joke for your wife?
Yeah, no, but that's the key. There's this movie that Adam Carolla's in that has a speech in it that it's called, God, what is it? He plays a boxer. Kevin, do a search while I talk. But there's this great...
What should he search for?
Adam Carolla boxing movie.
Oh, The Hammer.
The Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. It's not a bad. It's a little romantic comedy. I like Adam. I think he's funny. I liked working with him on the Sarah Silverman program, and he did a movie, and he's great in it. And he's supposedly in real life like a pretty decent boxer, which anybody that could do anything physical, I'm impressed with. But there's this speech that his trainer goes to him that really hit me and Kate. And it was like, you're one of those 90%ers. You take it to 90% and then you quit. Mm-hmm. And you're always going to be a 90%er. The people who make it are the 100%ers.
There you go.
You're only 10% off, but you're never going to do it. And that hit me because I was like, that's me. And that echoes in my head a lot whenever I'm working at something, because you're just like, this is good enough. Uh-huh. You have to take like lifting weights or running, I did it enough.
Yeah.
It's just like, but, or like you're like, if you run, bike, whatever, like say you're going to do 10 blocks or whatever, and you get to block 9, you go, that's enough.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's the people that do that extra 10%. Those are the people that I think really punch through. And it's hard. That last 10% is hard. When I was doing Scud, the hardest pages were like the last 5.
Oh, yeah?
Because you'd be working on it a month, and then you'd be like, oh, I've got like 25 pages done, and I got 5 more to go.
Right.
But if it's a page a day, that's like a week, and you want to be done. So you kind of argue with yourself to limit yourself. It's like, well, maybe I could wrap everything up in like 3 pages,
right.
Or I could draw it shittier, or I could just do a splash page and then just make an extra long t-shirt page and call it a day. And that's when you're arguing for your own limitations, you're always going to win.
Yeah.
You're always going to win. And that's that's really, really sad. As I reflect on my life, all of the times that I'm like, if I would have just pushed, if I would have gotten to the habit at a younger age, your age, anybody else's age that is younger than us right now, get into the habit of seeing it through that extra 10%, because it becomes definitely a habit to be a 90%er.
Yeah, and there's circumstances, I would say a large number, maybe not a majority, but there's a large number of circumstances where I think like being okay with the 90% or whatever is fine and healthy even. And sometimes you're beating yourself up over doing a fine job on something that doesn't really matter, and that's not helpful.
No.
But especially in the industry and like trying to make something creatively that you can stand by and stuff. Yeah, I do think it's tough. It's tough to balance. Like you're saying, like I've been that where I get a bunch of pages done and I'll be like, I could do more. Like I probably
want a snack.
Yeah, it's like,
or I'm tired. I want a nap.
Yeah, let's say I banged out like 9 pages and I could probably do 2 more, not that bad, and I could maybe do 6 more if I really pushed it. But instead of doing 2 or even 1, I'll be like, hey, I did 9. And the thing is, that is true. Like, but it's that tendency to be like, hey, this is enough, where it's like now you're satisfied with not doing stuff, and then you didn't write anything this week because it was 9 on Tuesday was fine,
We're people who are our own boss. We don't really have to answer to anybody, especially when it comes to our art.
Right, yeah.
And they're like, and you could be like, yeah, no one's going to fire you from your script. No one's going to say, sorry, we're taking your script away because you couldn't get that extra page. So it's really on you, and it's a challenging thing to have radical responsibility for everything in your life, because you want somebody to come in and just like go, just do this, this, and this, and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
But that person has got to be you.
I never thought about it in terms of Hollywood, but when I was in school, I was younger, I like to read and write, and like the idea of writing either articles or like books or something for a living seemed in the realm of possibility for me. But just thinking about it and gaming it through, it's like, well, I don't want to be like my own boss and be like, now it's time to write the next book.
Yeah.
And like I just want to come in, clock out, go home, and not like be the big like planner of my whole thing. And so like when I was young, I was just like, yeah, so just probably a science job or something, and then now I find myself here, and it's like I am finding the limits of like my capacity to be my own taskmaster.
Yeah. But there's the biggest successes are those people, like Stephen King, Tolkien, like those are the guys that they just sat down and did the work.
Yeah.
And they deserve the success. So it's, man, I've been having this conversation a lot lately with a lot of my friends that are just like, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I'm like, most of the time I can't. I want to, but I have a really hard time doing it because I'm having that limiting myself argument in my head. I'm like, hey, you had a good run. You worked with some great people.
Yeah.
You kind of did everything you set out to do, just enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Take another nap, eat something, go to bed early, and it sounds really nice, but it's like, it's also, now I'm looking at my life as like, am I just living 90% of my life, and I'm not going to push that extra 10% into like, what could I make myself 100% happy if I tried a little bit harder? Am I going to only stay 90% happy the rest of my life?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that's the circumstance where it is important to be like, 90%, that's an A. Like you have a house, you have done a lot of stuff. I hate the same.
I did a lot.
I have the same thoughts, and I have done a lot less than you, and I am a lot less successful than you, and I am a lot closer to exiting the industry for lack of success than you, but I still have it. Like, I'm like, Harmon Quest fucking rocked. Like, I'm so proud that I got to make that. And like, obviously it would be great to.
And I'm jealous I had nothing to do with it.
Well, you could have. I called you like multiple times.
No, you didn't, you freak. Yeah, no.
But like,
I would have ruined the show like I ruined Harmontown.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I thought about that and been like, well, I want people to take this seriously, I don't know.
No, you were smart not to.
But Harmon Quest was like a really good thing, and I'm really lucky that I got to make it. And, in all honesty, if the sum total of my legacy is I was on Harmontown, I'm doing this bad podcast now, and I made Harmon Quest, that is still impressive. Like, that is still something to be very proud of. Yeah. It's not a successful Hollywood career per se.
Yeah, but you're in the Harmontown documentary, you're on Community. You know, you're beloved. You know, people adore you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't even have a tenth of that.
But that's what I mean. And so like when I think about those same kind of thought patterns, where I go with it is like try to be more, you know, happy with what you've done, because there is a lot to be happy about. But also I do have to figure out how to live. Like you know, you have a house, like I got to get a house, you know, like.
But once you get a house, you worry about living.
No, I agree. Don't get me wrong. But like, I'm saying like for me, it's not just like, can I be happy with what I've done? It's like, what do I do now? You know, and maybe that's true for you too. Maybe it is like, that's the real,
it is. Yeah.
Instead of saying, is this enough? It's saying like, where I'm at now, where is my best life at? How can I be living my best life from here? You know?
Yeah. It's a lot of introspection. It's like going, what am I doing? You know, I have this thing in my head is like, am I living the life that I wanted when I was 8? Or do I come up with that, maybe admit that's changed. The things that I want now are different. And what could I do to get them?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a hard question, because you're kind of like, am I wanting to be in this business because of something I promised myself when I was younger, or what? But it's a tough question. It's really a tough question.
I deal with that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I was just thinking that like, yeah, it's been a while since we talked last.
When did the last time we talked?
Can you look that up, Kevin?
Is that a Google thing?
It
What's
is.
the last?
Believe it or not, it is.
The last time we talked on your show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Oh, I thought.
Well, these days, you know,
Everybody's looking.
Kevin's got a powerful, you know, AI these days that probably follows me around. That's the next frontier.
You can see the Tron Ares.
Have I? Is it out yet?
Are you? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to.
You're not going to on purpose.
Yeah.
You do. You're not a fan.
I don't like Jared Leto. He seems like a bad person.
He seems like a bad person. Seems like an interesting choice to front
Yeah.
your movie.
Yeah.
I mean, for people who are fans of Tron, probably are like, what?
Also, like, what if Tron was in real life? It's like, that's just any sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
It's like, what if a crazy thing was here and we had to deal with it?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It's a little bit Beastmaster 2.
Yeah.
Through the Portal of Time, or Neverending Story 3, or Star Trek 4, The Voyager. It seems like when they go, we don't want to spend a lot of money, so let's just have like the costumes come here instead of building
Do the whole
the
world.
scary, the crazy world.
Yeah. Did you see the trailers for it and stuff?
Yeah.
You know, there's the part where Jared Leto, he like busts out his data discs or whatever. But get this, they're triangle.
But the whole point of the discs was supposed to be like computer discs.
But get this, they're triangle.
But I mean, I know we don't really have discs anymore, but do we have triangle?
Well, think about it. In the 80s or whatever, 90s, I don't know when Tron 1 was, they had circle discs. But that was the path. That was when everything was like pixelated and rocky. So like, a round disc, like,
doesn't make sense.
But then we've come so far in the future where polygons have you have so many polygons, you could render a whole digital world these days. And so to represent that passing of technology, this leveling up of our modern age, instead of circles, they're triangles.
Okay. Yeah, I guess now that you mention it, that does sound pretty cool.
'Cause like, a circle is so outdated and a triangle is so modern.
Yeah, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. It's good.
What is the last good movie you saw?
I like most movies I see. I just watched True Grit last night.
The original True Grit?
No.
Oh, the Jeff Bridges?
I heard I've been going through the Coen brothers because I listened to a podcast that's going through the Coen brothers, Blank Check.
Yeah.
And I've been going through them. They've been really interesting. But True Grit I guess I'd say it's my second favorite behind Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's behind. I like Hudsucker Proxy too, so maybe it's.
I like Big Lebowski.
Yeah, Big Lebowski is good.
Big Lebowski is good, and we were just talking about this at the 7-Eleven when I was getting my Mountain Dew. I saw one battle after another. Yeah, has a very Big Lebowski, but a kind of a main character that's kind of like a fuck up, but he used to be a revolutionary, and there's some interesting moments where he's like trying to find his daughter, and he's talking to like his old people, and they're like, "Give us the code. What time is it?" And he's like, "This was 15 years ago, man. I'm fucking stoned right now. You guys called me in the middle of some shit. I'm drunk. I've been burning my brain out with drugs. I have no idea." Well, we can't tell you where your daughter is. And it's just the idea of like, oh, wow. Like if you had all these codes that you kind of, that would definitely happen to me. That would 100% happen to me. Like if, like say at the end of Harmontown, this is only 5 years ago, at the end of Harmontown, you said, okay, you know, here's like a series of questions. And if you tell me the right answers, I'll give you a treat. I don't know. I would be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's like, you ever try to reset your password, you look at the security questions, and it's like a thing that's static, that's never changed. Like, I don't know, your high school mascot or something. And it's like, how could this be wrong? There's only one possible answer that could have ever entered my mind, and it's not that. It's like that, but for your daughter, for finding your daughter.
I hate passwords. Like, I will like pay for an app that I cannot get at because I've forgotten the password. And then there's so much anxiety about, well, if I reset the password, it's not going to work on my iPad, but it'll work on my Apple TV. You
need a password manager, but those are live hassles.
Like a person to come in?
Yeah, you need to hire me.
Would you be my password?
I could be your password manager, yeah.
You're like, you got to get over here now, man. You got to get over now. I can't open Night Flight.
Like, I'll be there in 10.
10?
Leave the door open. But yeah.
The dog will get out.
Did you find out when we talked last?
April of 24.
24. Yeah. That can't be right. That's not even you'll hear.
That's only, well, 2. Getting closer.
Is it 20? Yeah, definitely getting closer.
Okay. What do you remember?
Be white.
We talked about some stuff.
We talked about stuff. We talked about filmmaking and direct production stuff. So it's been about a year.
Yeah.
Let's say it's been 2 years, just for sake of argument. What's changed?
A lot and a lot of nothing, you know? I mean, like I've written several scripts, feature scripts. The big thing, what I'm noticing, and it could be just me, is that representation seems to be doing less and less. I don't know if you've experienced this at all.
Yeah, well, it's all like packaging is back, basically.
Yeah, it is. It's like, I had a script that I wrote a bunch of scripts, and the notes were always like, your characters need work, and this reads like a $300 million movie. Can you scale it back? So I wrote a script that was like something I could do for under $1 million and worked solely on the characters. And everybody that's read it so far has been like, you nailed it. This is totally doable, whatever. But my agent said, for this type of a movie, you're on your own. You're going to have to figure this out for yourself. And I was like,
you don't want to make one phone call, send a couple emails.
Why do you have representation?
Right. Yeah.
And so, you know, I had a manager for a while, and like, I'm thinking about maybe I need to get another manager again, but I'm just like so tired of being like dumping money into, paying people to believe in me. Mm-hmm. And those people that you pay to believe in you are, from my experience, which I did, you know, for the last 15 years of my career, were like trying to talk me out of what I really wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Don't do horror. Don't do sci-fi. don't do this kind of stuff. You could be like doing like Lonely Island stuff. And I love the Lonely Island, but I want to do crappy horror movies, you know?
Yeah.
So for that, you know, I'm on my own. And so I'm trying to figure that out.
We got to figure that out.
Got to figure it out. There's people who do it every single day. And, you know, they're not, like my friend has just finished like his, like fourth or fifth movie, and he did this reboot. Maybe you'd like it. Do you remember, did you watch any fantasy, like sword and sandal movies, like in the 80s? Not really.
Couple.
Were you a fan of that kind of stuff? Beastmaster, Conan.
A little, yeah. I didn't like live action when I was a kid. I don't know, but when I watched it, it was stuff like.
Oh, okay. Well, my friend Steve Kostansky, shout out to Steve. We've been showing the trailer on Schrab Home Video, Deathstalker, and he, you know, low budget creature effects guy, did this movie where there's just like trolls and giant monsters and stop motion animated skeletons and just lots of wizard stuff. And Patton Oswalt does the voice of a goblin in it. And I'm like, nobody's making movies like this anymore. And this guy just does it. He's my hero, you know? And I think you would love it. I think you would think it's just kind of fun. I would love you to write one of those. I would love you to be in one of those. I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, it could be.
So yeah, I'm thinking about doing like like in the vein of Cyberpunk Megazone, like a fantastic fantasy theater where we show like schlocky sword and sandals movies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah,
if you're interested in something like that.
Great.
We do breakdowns of movies and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
But you know, I mean, the thing that I feel like is like, and this goes back to the 90% thing, is I feel like I've become a much better writer in the last 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Than I thought I was. You know, I look back at stuff that I was like, this is a slam dunk. I look at it now and go, ooh, yikes.
What do you credit that to?
I think listening to the critiques of like, this is what you need to work on. And me going, okay, I'm going to listen to it, and I'm just going to, because I would be like, really? That's really, you know.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got to do is work on the characters. What does that mean? But I actually sat down and just really read a lot about it, just worked on it. I actually started with the character and like created the hook around it. You know, usually I start with the hook. And then back into it, everything else. But it was a rewarding experience doing that. And I was like, oh, this isn't as hard as I thought it was. That's the other thing I learned. And, but I will say I have this, maybe it's not in the cards for me. I'm going to just give up, which is what my pattern is in my life. You know, just when I start getting good at something, I stop. Yeah. You know, I did that with comic books. I did that with acting. I did that with directing. And now I'm feeling the urge to kind of give up at the 90% line.
I think I'm in a spot like that too. So
it's but I feel like if you just keep pushing through, because I'm running out of stuff to try. You know, I mean, I guess I could go back to comic books, but I want to kind of see this out.
But you know so many people. Like,
I'm a very awkward person. I have a hard time asking for favors.
Yeah, but that's something that could be, you know, you could get people to help you with that. But I don't mean like executives, like people with money power. I mean people like, I don't know, like Patton Oswalt or something, you know, like.
I know Patton. You know, I know a lot of these people.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
something.
It's something, but I have a lot of anxiety about going to people, especially if they're like, even if they're good friends. Like I have a hard time asking Dan for anything.
Yeah.
I have a hard time asking, anybody for anything. It's hard for me to ask Kumail for anything or something. You know, And especially if they're, like I know Patton, I'm friends with Patton if I saw him, but if I reached out to him and said, hey, would you want to, it would be very awkward for me to do.
Me too. Yeah.
And that's why I would be hoping that if I had a representation, I was like, hey, can you send this script that has my name on it to a person that I know? It would mean more than me just texting them or calling them. If like CAA goes, Rob Schraub's got a new script. He wants you to play this part. Take a look at it. That's it.
Can you just be a manager? Can I just be your manager? I could do that. I could send Kumail an email. Sure. Easy. I don't even charge for that.
Yeah.
But no, it's just interesting. I think people have a tendency towards.
I thought I would be better at what I do by now.
Yeah, what you're talking about, it leads into the adult children stuff. Like asking for stuff you want is really hard. Like,
as a guy who's turning 56 this year, I was like, I thought I would be, because there's people much younger than me that own companies that, have businesses with multi different things. And they're like, I have no idea how to do anything like that. I don't know how Dan juggles all these shows.
My conspiracy theory that maybe it's just cope, but is that those people, they have help. And it's not like those people are doing the work, but the little things that they're adding to help is like, it's building the momentum. It's not like it's so important on its own, but like you get this and that and this and that, and then you're going, and then you can keep going.
Yeah.
Whereas you can kind of stall out on your own. I think a lot of those, it's not that they're not doing the work. They absolutely are. I mean, sometimes maybe they're not, but it's more just that like having that little bit of support. I mean, it can add up to maybe over 10% and you're past the 100%,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think that I feel like I'm going through all this stuff that you're going through. It feels very relatable.
What about you, Kevin? Do you go through does any of this relate to you? Are you shocked? Are you like, guys, get over it?
I mean, my reaction to everything you're saying is I wish I could help. I would love it to be my job.
Wouldn't it be great to see
You should be his manager.
Spencer in a sword and sorcery movie, as a wizard?
We could do that. We don't really need money to do that.
You need a little money.
Yeah, a little money. We can get a little money. That's easy. They can get a little money. But that's the thing is like, what are you doing it for? Like if you're just doing it to make
You got to do it. There's another conversation I keep having is like when people is like going, what's the point? What's the point? The point is to have fun. Right. We started writing. We started, doing comic books, doing role playing, doing, these podcasts and things like this because it was fun.
Well,
and as an artist, we have to remind ourselves that that the making of it has to be fun because this might all it will ever be.
Right, exactly. So
so you might as well, if you're miserable and you're like, there's another script that's going to go nowhere. It's like, that's not a life. But if you're like going, hey, I'm writing this and I'm having fun. If I do a reading of it with my friends and everybody laughs and it's a good time and that's all it is, that's not too bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's also kind of what I was talking about in the past, where it's like about just like trying to be more satisfied with the process and stuff.
It's being satisfied in this business is something. It's it's something you got to train yourself to do.
Well, it's a business that appeals to people who can't be satisfied for various reasons. But what I was gonna say is, what was I gonna say? Shit. I lost it. It's fine. Let's end the show.
You wanna take a second?
No.
You wanna take a break?
I just had a thought that I was like following up on one of the things you said, but I can't remember now. But
I don't know. It'll come back.
Yeah, it probably will. It's just like in what I was gonna say is that like you said we got into this because we're having fun and stuff, but to me it's all so been heavily tied to getting validation, not having fun. Like, just like, look at dungeon mastering, right?
Yeah.
The reason I'm a dungeon master and not a D&D player is because the way that I got friends to hang out with me was to do the service, the labor of dungeon mastering so they would have a good time, so they would validate me and be my friend.
Yeah.
And that's different than just playing the game to have fun. Like, you know, Dan talks about like Graham being his like DM.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Graham was doing it so that those people would like him. Like, he like had this weird God complex or whatever, where he's like, this is my world. And that's like self-fulfilling in a way that wanting validation is not.
Yeah. Well, I started drawing to get my mom to like me,
Exactly.
you know? And then when I went to high school, I drew because I wanted girls to look at me, you know? And getting into comedy and stuff like that, it was another thing to get my parents to like me.
So I think it's hard to turn that into a self-sustaining, healthy motivation, because
It's really
it's so built into.
Yeah, it's so
unhealthy.
because especially like comedy, if you can be funny just for yourself, but you are an annoying person if you're just being funny for myself. And I know there's a lot of people out there going, "That's you, Rob."
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, there has to be a back and forth. I don't know.
Yeah. I was having a problem with this podcast before that I kind of pulled myself out of when we started doing the anime thing. And part of it was like, what's creation that I could be happy with and not like validation seeking? It's just something that I enjoy. And that started being a healthy thing for the podcast. Right now, I'm in this kind of back where I was, where I'm like, maybe this like path that I went down thinking it was like, maybe it's converted back to validation seeking again. And so it goes back into the healing fantasy idea.
It's going back to the validation, because I've been going through like a crisis of sorts of who am I? What am I doing over the last like year, 2 years or something like that? What am I doing? Do I want to just, I don't know. And it's, I don't know if it's linked. One caused the other, but like about a year and a half ago, I just pulled back. Mm-hmm. Like, no online presence, don't hang out anymore. Very rarely, we haven't seen each other in forever. It's been a while since I've cut anything together for Schrab on video. It's like turning off my comments. Just I don't want to interact with anybody. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I needed that for a while, but now I'm like, it's probably not a healthy thing to do. I think human interaction is difficult and frustrating and sad as it can be. It's really important. I think it's something that for your own, you need some kind of validation. Validation might not be the right word. You need some kind of interaction. We need this. This is why I wanted to meet in person.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of Zooms, because it's just like this wall of faces that, I can zone out and I'm like, am I even having a conversation with a living being or just this glowing box? Yeah. But here I'm talking to you. I actually feel like I'm gaining something.
Yeah. Well, humans have a need for community. We're pack creatures, social creatures. But then also, I don't know, there's this phrase that's been going around, maybe you've heard it, but it's annoyance is the price of community. And it's a lot of people suck shit and they are part of society.
Yeah.
And so if you want to be part of society, you can't go like, we got to get rid of all these people that suck shit. It's like, no, you have to accept that because that's the cost of not being alone. And you've been alone, and there's a lot of not inconvenience about, there's a lot of convenience about being alone, but it doesn't deliver to you the essential community that humans do need on something.
Yeah, you need more than just your dog and Kate Freund to have a well-rounded.
Well, some people do.
Some people, a
lot of people would be fine with
that. I'm fine with that, but I feel like, I haven't been on set in a really long time. I've been we just started going back into the writer's room every day during the week after being over Zoom since the pandemic.
What's that been like?
Great.
Yeah.
I do enjoy being around people and interacting with people and pitching stories and acting out stuff. And, it's, It's definitely better. I definitely, it's a long commute for me, but I don't really mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but it's so hard to be social. It's so hard to be social, but I feel like if I do have these dreams of shooting a movie, being on set again and working with people, I have to get over that, because I feel like if tomorrow somebody says, "Hey, you're directing this," they'll be like, I'm a terror, but if I know myself well enough, I'd be like, I'm as soon as I step on set, everything will kind of click back into normal. I mean, I was like that when I went back to the comic book, like after not doing the comic book for 10 years. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do it. And it took a very short time for my muscle memory to kick in.
And when you're in director mode, like you are very serious and like you're doing a lot at any given time. Like it's not like you're wasting time fucking around, pissing people off, being, this character archetype.
That's why I get pissed off when anybody accuses me of like, do you need this shot? Why are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. I'm doing my job.
Yeah. When's the last time that's happened?
Like every time you direct, there's always somebody going, so we need this. Haven't you got it? Like, dude, I want to go home more than anybody on this stage. I want to go home now.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm fucking around here? Have you seen me sitting at all today?
Yeah, it sucks.
What the fuck?
I wonder what that's like. I mean, I don't have a lot of personal experience with
It's the worst.
but it just like, I feel like for Harmon Quest, this is going to sound shitty. I don't mean it in a shitty way, but like there's so much compromise at every step to the very, very end.
Yeah.
And then at the, like towards the end, you see like a shot that looks like, okay. And like, for me, I like remember all the compromise and anguish in like discussions that got to just that shot. And it's like, and it looks like that,
Yeah.
and it's like, ugh, but like, well, by the time it's an animation, it's like, you can change a lot, but like the deadlines are so tight that it's, like, I got to still be the asshole. But when you're on set getting the shots, like that's such a different part of production, right? So what does it feel like to be like people trying to compromise with you like that?
I try to be, I listen to everybody.
Of course, yeah.
To a detriment, I listen to way too many things, and that's why the thing that I've learned when I go back on set is to really like be vocal about like, hey, thanks. Don't want to hear it right now. I've got too much going on in my head to have another voice. I need you to, I'll ask for it, but right now I need to concentrate on, I need to get my vision done first.
Yeah.
And what was the question?
I don't know if there was one.
I don't know.
Oh, what was it like? What's it like compromising in the shooting stage of it?
It sucks.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's this great documentary Dave Grohl did about, I don't know, did you ever see that about the recording studio?
Yes.
What was it called? It's check it out. But there was a recording studio where all like classic rock bands played and
Sound City.
The thing that the reason I'm bringing it up is like Dave Grohl at one point he said like this studio was like people would piss in the corner and there's shit on the floor and there's torn carpeting on the walls and it just wasn't taken care of, but there was something magical about this place that would make some of the best music ever. There was like a corner where it's like, this is the hit corner. You put your drum set in this corner, you're going to record a hit, that kind of stuff. But he said something that really kind of affected me where it's just like, he says, back then it wasn't perfect, but it existed, and I think that I try to keep that in my mind. It's like, okay, do I die on this hill for this shot or for this take or for this whatever, this animated whatever that you were going through, or do I keep pushing through and maybe we'll make up for it, or maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought,
Right, yeah.
Or somebody would watch it and not even notice the screw up. Or sometimes the screw up is the thing that people love the most. You know, how many times have you listened to a documentary or Q&A where it's just like, I hated that Freddy Krueger's stripes went this way. I wanted him to go this way. And you're like, are you crazy? That's what makes Freddy Krueger Freddy Krueger. Are you nuts? I wanted him to have spoons on his fingers. Well, we couldn't afford it, so we got knives. You know, it's just, it's these, I think the way you get through those moments in there is to find a zen and just like go, I'm smart enough that if there's a problem, I know how to fix it or make up for it, either later on or somehow. You know, it's just like art is making mistakes and fixing them. Mm-hmm. And the more mistakes you make and the more you lean into the mistake, I think that's when real art happens.
That's interesting.
I think it's. I've used this example before. If everybody got a ruler out and drew a straight line, it would pretty much be all the same. But if I said, okay, lose the ruler, draw a straight line, none of them would be the same. Mm-hmm. And it'd be, oh, that's how you draw a straight line? You go down? Oh, I go up. Or, you know, or I go this way, you go that way. You know, it's your mistakes are what create your style.
Yeah, yeah.
It's embracing those mistakes. That's what I learned about writing because in the beginning, I would try to write like Dan and no one can write like it. So I was like, I'm going to write bad on purpose. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of committed to that. And that kind of created my own style.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like I did that with directing, did that with art, you know, and that's, you know, because I can't do what other people do, but no one can screw up like me.
I think that's such an interesting reframe.
You know?
Yeah, because everybody talks about find your voice as an artist, find your voice as a writer or something. The idea that what your voice is the way that you fuck up is like, that's freeing and cool.
And pay attention to the stuff that you hate the most about yourself, because that's what makes you the most, those are the things that make you the most unique.
That seems really powerful, but also very terrifying to try to acknowledge.
It is. It's like the reason that you go, I don't like how I talk. My voice is very shrill, and I can't form words well. But what if I leaned into that? Then all of a sudden I've got like something unique, something different, you know? And not everybody's going to like it, but I like it.
I don't know. This is not super related, but I remember I was showing a script to Levy and he was like, yeah, it seems like most of your scripts are about like the workplace or people working. And I was like, I mean, I feel like almost any job or like any show could probably be described as like what job the main character.
Yeah, those are kind of successful, right?
Yeah,
I would think so.
But I don't know. I remember it's like in terms, it's, you know, we talk about taking notes and stuff, and like I don't know. That flashed in my mind. It was like I took that as a note, and I was like, "The fuck are you talking?"
But I listen to that and I go, well, that makes sense because it's you. I mean, I think.
Well, that's what I said is that like, yeah, because I don't have like a lot of strong interpersonal relationships that I could like mine for material. You know, what I have is jobs that I work. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have like family dynamics.
I'm wondering if he was like going, oh, I'd like to know. I think because he's only known you through workplace. He's like, I want to know a little bit. What do you do when you go home? What's your life on the weekend? You know, like that I think I would look at that as like somebody going, well, let's see the other side of it too.
It's basically me in a fridge.
What do you mean?
Like for 48 hours, I go into a fridge and I go back to work.
You go into the
basically what it is. Yeah.
You go like into a refrigerator?
Yeah, basically.
Like metaphoric fridge?
It's as if to the outside world, it would be as if I just went into a fridge and then came out for work. Like what I'm doing is very not.
Are you snacking a lot?
No, I'm just not. I'm basically like zoning out.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm not doing it. Like, I mean,
I do that too.
Yeah.
I lay around a lot.
yeah.
I don't like that, but it's like, do you get to a point where it's like, I can't move? I can't move.
Sometimes I'll rearrange and then I'll be like, that didn't work. I'm still stuck here.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I don't know.
I go through spurts of like lots of activity. Like I'll be like, oh, I got to rearrange my office. I got to go do some gardening. I got to go paint this thing, blah, 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 blah. And I'll like get a ton of shit done. And then I'll go through, I need to lay in bed all day long because, everything seems so hopeless.
yeah.
It does. It does.
Wonder if that's there's a kind of bipolar that doesn't have the manic highs.
So what, Iconics?
Bipolar, a kind of bipolar.
Yeah.
It's like type 2 bipolar or something. So it's just you're a normal person and sometimes you're just fucking wiped out, just like stuck on the floor. And I was like, I could have that because I don't feel manic highs, but I definitely feel like
Manic highs?
manic highs.
Manic highs.
Yes.
Manic highs.
Highs that are
Manic highs.
defined by their manic nature.
I have manic highs and manic lows.
You do? That's just normal bipolar.
Well, then I don't know what you're saying.
Highs and lows.
I have highs and lows.
And do the highs extend into mania? Probably not.
I don't know what is classified as mania. Like if I'm like Daffy Duck, what
There's
is
like people in movies who are bipolar, and they're like, it's like they're tweaking almost, they're getting really intense. Like bipolar.
Do you feel like you're making bad decisions because
I don't think I have manic highs. I do think I have manic lows where I make bad decisions where I'm just like if Kate leaves, this is the problem with not interacting with other people. Kate's going to go, I'm going to go to this thing that I know you'll hate. And I go, enjoy yourself. She leaves the house. What do? I order food. I lay in bed. I don't do anything.
Well,
I just turn off. Turn off. And I'm not even watching TV. I'm just kind of clicking through stuff. I just turn off. I'm like done. And then like she'll come home and she's like, have you just sat here the whole night? You didn't do anything? And I'm like, I can't. I feel like, I don't know if you're like this where you need like downtime. Like I need to do nothing.
Yeah.
Or like, I felt like that it took me a long time to admit that that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Been that way my whole life where my parents couldn't understand that. It's like, you're just going to lay around all day and do nothing with your room all a mess. You could wax the boat with your brother. Why aren't you mowing the lawn or doing something? My mom is not Jewish, but there was a lot of that. But they didn't understand that I'm just like, I can't move.
Yeah. Speaking of Judaism,
You're a fan.
I was gonna throw a segment. I was thinking about switching gears a little.
How many? Okay.
What? I was thinking about switching gears. This is a idea that I've had. I don't know. It's maybe kind of like an improv game a little bit, but the idea is that you're the network executive.
Great.
And I am pitching you on my like movie ideas. And I don't know if or it could be we're both brainstorming out the pitch or something, but I have multiple ideas and we can run through them. I don't know if I've done these or if I've talked about them with you, but they're does this make sense? His mic's upside down too.
Is it?
Okay.
Is it bad?
It doesn't matter apparently.
Yeah.
I don't. Abed, it's fine.
Abed?
Yeah, he had that, and the audio seemed fine apparently, right? But he's very loud. Well, you're loud too. This is great podcasting. Okay. We cut this. We don't have to. It's fine, Kevin.
Cut.
So, Rob, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me.
Are we done?
No, I'm doing the bit.
Okay.
So I have some ideas that I'm really excited to discuss with you.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay. So my first thing is this. Lightning. We all know it. Hate it.
Hate it.
Hate to see it.
No.
It's rare.
Not a fan.
But what do we know about lightning?
I know I don't like it.
What else do we know about lightning? Well,
It hurts.
yes, it does hurt. And it can even be lethal. But what else do we know? There's a couple, it's electricity. We can put that aside. What do we know about lightning?
Comes from up.
Yes. I don't know if we'll get here. I'll just say it. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Right?
Yeah.
But what if it did?
No fucking way.
Yeah. So imagine,
Julia, I just heard the best pitch I've ever heard. You got to get in here. She loves pitches.
So imagine it's a stormy day in Seattle, let's say, and there's people, they're waiting.
It rains there.
For the bus. It does, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's a thunderstorm and lightning strikes a guy.
In the bus?
No, they're waiting for the bus.
They're waiting for the bus. Okay.
He steps just outside the bus shelter just for a second.
Gets hit
by lightning. Everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? He falls over. He gets up. He's like, ugh, I think I'm okay. And someone goes, you're lucky because you just got hit by lightning. So that's never going to happen again. He's like, what? And they're like, and someone else is like, well, don't you know?
Yeah.
Lightning never strikes the same place twice.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, that's just great. And so he walks towards the bus. The bus has now arrived. He walks towards the bus, gets hit by lightning again. People freak the fuck out. He's dead.
He's dead?
He's dead. They go check on him. They're like, is he okay? And they're like, I've never seen this before. The lightning, it struck twice. And they're like, what does this mean? And then another person gets hit by lightning. They're like, holy shit.
3 times.
What's happened? Now everybody's like, well, it's not gonna hit the same place twice. And so someone stands in their spot, right? And the other person, they go somewhere else. And they get hit by lightning again in the new place.
In the new place.
And then everybody starts getting hit with lightning. Because in this world, lightning is contagious.
Lightning is contagious. I like that.
Contagious lightning.
Contagious lightning.
It's like a zombie movie, but with lightning. There's people, they're trying to pat down their crazy, exploded hair and hide their burn marks.
Uh-huh.
They're like, I'm fine. I wasn't hit.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then just the lightning explodes.
Nice. Okay.
That's the whole movie. That's
What? And so, okay. So that's your cold open.
Mm-hmm.
And so this would be the story about a guy who got hit one and is waiting for the second one.
He needs to get back to his daughter
before he gets hit again.
I don't know.
Well, I think
he's just waiting his time out.
No. I think he's like, oh shit, I've got to go see if my daughter's okay. But if I leave the house, you need to establish some rules. Like if you stay inside,
then you're safe.
You're safe.
Probably.
But I got to see if my daughter is going to. The thing is, you can get hit twice. The second one is lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Guy already got hit by lightning once. And maybe there's some benefit to that or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
He had AIDS and it's now, it doesn't work anymore. The AIDS
stopped working.
The AIDS stopped working.
Yeah.
But he's like, but if I get hit again, it's like, I might as well have, it'll super trigger my AIDS. Yeah. AIDS is a placeholder. It could be,
I think we have it.
butt cancer. It could be anything.
Yeah.
But and it's like, I got to get it from A to B, but I have to find a way. How do I get to my daughter? And she's at school,
Yeah. But in this brave new world, people,
everybody's getting hit by,
and they're worried, they're not just letting anyone into their shelters.
right.
Can there be a scene where there's a character that we don't really like that goes into the survivors, and then he kind of turns his back and pulls his shirt up, and you can see lightning wounds all over Kevin that he's hiding from everybody.
There has to be that scene. That's the most important scene in the entire movie.
How is this infection? Like, that's another thing is like, do you get it through kissing? Like, oh, like, is it like mono? If it's like, oh, could you sneeze? And now, oh, I got hit by lightning or whatever. Like, is it something like, if it's contagious, how is it transmitted?
By, what are they called? What are they called?
Blowjobs.
No. Microparticles? What are those? The airborne? It's airborne.
Airborne.
It's airborne.
Okay. So if you breathe it.
Yeah, you just gotta wear a mask.
Yeah.
You just have to wear a mask.
Wear a mask.
And people are like, I don't need to wear a mask to get hit by lightning. I think this is good.
Is there a runner where somebody's trying to catch it in a bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Storm Chasers. That's the title.
Lightning in a bottle.
Like bug chasers. Okay, no, I get that. I was just.
How does this have to do with Judaism?
I'm getting her. Second bitch. Okay.
These are not connected in any way.
No, other than the Judaism. You could see the
Were you
Judaistic
trying to
theme.
see how I felt about Judaism earlier? Where you're like,
No,
are you
you asked me if I was a fan.
what are you,
I would never.
what's your temperature on Judaism lately?
No, I just thought it was funny.
My
The
wife
idea-
is Jewish, Spencer.
Okay. What is that supposed to mean? Just because your wife's
little
Jewish,
into
and
it.
you're like, you have an opinion one way or the other? That seems, a problematic consumption.
Why?
It's not.
No.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
No, it's not.
And that
turns me on.
No, see, now that seems like that's Maccabea.
Killed our Lord.
Our Lord.
Killed our Lord.
So I got a pitch.
She killed our Lord. I don't like it when Rob repeats things over and over again. You think of something. You think of something to say.
I would love for a comment like that on a Reddit. Because when
There's a couple of comments.
it's fucking nothing. I get no comments on my Reddits.
Because everybody loves you.
No,
Yes.
they love Kevin. Because they do talk about how Kevin's.
Everybody loves you.
And then Kevin's chopping it up in the comments. And I'm like, but what about how good I was? And they're like, we got to talk about how Kevin's so cool. It's good. It's good. Okay. My other pitch.
That's what you make when you write a.
Well, that's the art, That's a good face.
Thank you.
I like that.
I was working on it.
Yeah. I saw before I got here, you were like looking in the mirror, you're doing some stuff. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, nothing.
What was I?
This is like, you're trained in improv. This is like podcasting with Abed. Like, are you doing a bit? Are you trying to be funny on purpose? You're saying all these things. They're so absurd. They're almost like comedic premises. That's what Abed does to me.
What does he do to you?
One time,
Let's talk shit about
One time I was explaining, we're gonna do this intro where it's like improv and it's like we're morning zoo DJs and we're on a radio program. So I'm gonna introduce the show like it's a radio program, and you're on the show. You're like a guest on the program, but it's like a radio show, and he's like, I know improv. I know how to do all this stuff. I introduce him. I'm like, hey, this is Kevin does some lean. And Abed's like, what are you doing? You don't sound like that. It's like, I literally just explained what was going to happen. It was really funny though. For me at least.
Were you yelling at me just now?
No, I was trying to be funny. Couldn't you tell?
I was too scared.
This is very Abed.
You're very much like, I'm basically
You're the new Abed.
I'm the new Abed.
Abed was talking about how he's the new Jeff. So that's interesting.
Okay.
And you're the new Abed, which makes me the new Duncan Trussell.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Have you talked to Duncan lately? I haven't seen.
No, he's more right wing now. I was thinking about talking to him.
Yeah.
just because it's interesting. I don't know. I don't want people to get mad at me, but whatever.
I don't like anyone to be mad.
It's tough. I got another pitch though. Graduate student, a birdologist, ornithologist,
Birdologist.
ornithologist, studier of birds, graduate student. They're looking for the rarest. Well, it's not a rare bird. It's an endangered bird that has almost died out because of pollution, and they're trying to find it to preserve its habitat and rebreed it and stuff. They find the bird. The graduate student, she's climbing up in the tree. She sees the bird in the nest, and the bird, it's laying an egg. And she looks, and there's the bird gives live birth to a baby bird. No egg.
No egg.
Smash cut to special report. Eggs are fake. There's eggs. Eggs are everywhere in this world, but birds do not lay eggs.
They never have?
No.
Why?
That's what she has to find out.
Oh my God.
Who's making eggs? Where do they come from? And why are they doing it? And why, especially, are they trying to pin it on birds?
Yeah.
Because they don't exist. Eggs are fake.
Eggs are fake.
Eggs are fake.
Which came first? This idea or eggs?
It would have had to, because eggs are fake.
Right.
This idea invented eggs.
This idea invented eggs.
Yeah.
So it's your fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm the final boss of the movie. There's this game called Silent Hill.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So it's like a horror survival game, super creepy, super moody,
Movie series.
atmospheric. Yeah, a movie series. The first one,
Triangle Head. Pyramid Head is what they call it.
yeah, Pyramid Head.
He's called Pyramid Head.
He's great. That was from Silent Hill 2, and that game has a lot of weird
Name
sexual stuff.
workshopping.
That's like his credited name. No one is oh shit, it's Pyramid Head. That's
They don't go, Pyramid Head.
I still love you.
Come back.
No, but he's personified
As a
male libido and violence.
Yeah.
He's
He ripped
basically,
the lady's skin off.
yeah, he's Rape Manifest basically.
He's what?
Rape Manifest.
Rape Manifest.
Yeah, he's he's the main character's psychological violent urges and stuff, something like that.
And the pyramid is
Phallic?
phallic?
I don't know. The pyramid, it actually, it looks similar to it, doesn't.
Does he ever take it off and go,
No.
whoa, what a day?
He probably can't.
He can't.
It's probably some torture device.
That's why he's so mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a crazy game. It's really trippy. There's nurse mannequins that are two legs with two legs coming out of them that are jerking at odd angles and stuff.
The nurse mannequins, I know.
Yeah, really creepy stuff. And then there's a secret ending that you can get where if you find a certain key somewhere, there's a locked door. And if you open the door, it's towards the end of the game. There's a Shiba Inu dog with a headset that's typing on a computer. And the main character has the realization that everything he's been going through has been the machinations of this dog typing on the computer.
The computer dog?
Yeah.
So the dog came up with Pyramid Head.
Yeah. So James is he's going around Silent Hill.
James.
That's the main character. And so the dog presses a button and, Pyramid Head pops out and chases out and so the guy, he falls to his knees, being no. And then the game ends and there's an alternate credits sequence where it's a bunch of pitched up and down dog bark noises. It goes ruff, 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 ruff. And so it's just this weird carnival sounding song. And that's the whole end of the game. There's no, if you beat it that way, there's no resolution to the plot. That's just it. A dog was doing it. That's me for eggs are faked.
The dog can type.
And wear a headset.
Right. And they were, and people were cool with that.
They had to be.
They had to be.
The dog would have him killed.
I mean, people who were playing the game.
What was the secret ending?
It was a joke ending.
Yeah.
a silly ending.
A silly secret ending.
Silly secret ending.
Mm-hmm.
Was the dog kind of cartoonish looking?
It was like PlayStation 1 era graphics, so like low polygon, like not great.
So when you got there, you were like, what is this?
Yeah. Rough.
The dog is typing. That's how that was it.
This was game breaking stuff back then. This was groundbreaking.
What year?
Probably 90s.
90. Yeah. Okay.
90.
Didn't they do a new Silent Hill?
Yeah, they just came out with Silent Hill F.
The movie?
No, this is a game. Yeah, game.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I saw that one battle after another.
Yeah, you have any more thoughts on that?
I want to watch it again.
We should watch it. I gotta see it too.
I watched it and I think it got hyped up a little bit for me, but I haven't stopped thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me go, I think I should check it out again. Benicio del Toro is fucking great.
Yeah.
He's fucking great.
He's amazing. Amazing.
There's a lot of stuff that made me go, ugh, our world is awful.
It is. Maybe movies need to remind us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I had some more pitches, but
What is something that you're looking forward to? We're in October of 2025.
I'm gonna see my girlfriend in a couple months.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where?
She's coming here.
Tonight?
Is it
For how long?
only a couple days, like 3 or 4 days?
Well, that sucks. That's great.
Yeah, it is great. One thing I realize is it's important to have something to look forward to. I think a lot of my life, I haven't had anything to look forward to on any given time, and it makes time go by so much slower, and you just feel more dread. But if like, even if it's just like, oh, I was gonna go pick up a pizza on Friday, like something that small is still enough to like change your like relationship to time.
This was something I was looking for.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Both of you.
Or it still is great. We're not quite.
Kevin, what do you got? What do you got
what am I
looking forward to?
I don't know. Just I want to find a new hobby. I want to do something different.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like, I don't know. My mentality sometimes is like, you know, I can't stop or I'll die. Like, you know, and like it becomes a competition for like how many balls I can be juggling at once.
Yeah.
You know, I want to kind of throw away some of those balls and find some new toy to keep me occupied.
I hear that. I have a hard time juggling balls.
You have a lot of practice.
I
That's also a joke.
have a lot of balls
Mm-hmm.
that I juggle.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big ball juggler. I can only handle like one thing. You know, there's people like Heather Ann Campbell and Ryan Ridley who are working on several projects other than Rick and Morty, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, like I you know, but then I'll also like have like a feature script I'm always working on and trying to get it off the ground. But it's like my brain just goes, nope, no more, stop, and then I'm just done.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that too. It's not good.
What can we do to fix the world right now? Go.
Kevin just like put a huge bleep like I'm like explaining.
And just a lot of me going,
Yeah. And then
Jesus.
Yeah. No,
Here's my take.
yeah, what's your pitch?
Delete comments and replies. I don't need to know. If I post an opinion or you post an opinion, don't really care what you think.
Where are you posting?
I'm not posting anything anymore. And I've noticed that my life has gotten better since I've stopped, clicked off comments. Because, you know, for every 90 nice comments, there's somebody that goes, I disagree. I'm just like, and that just kind of goes, what was the point of that? What's the point? How did that make the world better? And I feel like if people can just state what they think and nobody says anything, good or bad, we'd all be better off. What do you think? Is that bad?
I think
Okay, let me put it different.
I think it's bad.
You think?
No, don't do it.
No.
I was kidding. Go ahead.
But maybe it is, because it's like if I write something hateful and evil and there's nobody to go, that's wrong, you shouldn't say that. It's just going to start an argument, like, but do you need, it depends on who's saying it too, if I'm saying it, if I'm saying something that you don't agree with, yeah, and you can't comment on it, is that a bad thing? I mean, I guess if I'm the president of the United States or I'm a public figure and I say something like awful, there should be some repercussion or checks and balances or whatever, or some like, oh, a lot of people disagree with this person. But I don't know. I'm so, we lived in a world, I lived in most of my life where that was not an option. Where you could say something in public and people wouldn't, like if I say, okay, if this place was filled, if we were in a bar or whatever, and I say, I like this, maybe you go, I'm not a fan of that, or you might go, I agree with you or whatever. But the strangers would probably keep to themselves. They might mutter to, like, I like that thing or whatever like that. But if we turn that into online, everybody in the room all of a sudden has an opinion and has to say it.
Yeah.
And I don't think the world is a better place for that because of that.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? And I could be wrong. I'm from personal experience.
Let's just say for sake of argument that I'm an artist.
Okay.
I have a podcast.
Right.
And so I can have a podcast and put it out, and then people will say, like, on the Reddit, they'll say, like, that episode was bad. And then I will say, hey, shut the fuck up. Don't comment that. Make your own stuff, and then, but like, that's like one way to go about it. But I think like the problems with that are like, on one level, the way I'm an artist, those people are like comment artists, where their comments are their art because they don't have access to, like, they don't have their own podcast.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not that I never leave comments or something, but a lot of the comments I would leave, I just say on my podcast. And a lot of people, they express themselves through their art that they express themselves through. And so I do think there's at least a little bit of a blind spot where you go like, well, fucking you do something then, but it's like they kind of are, so I wonder about that. Just like, maybe it's okay that their expression is like this, but that's just a possibility. I don't believe that. That's just, when I have those thoughts, that's like a counter thought that comes to me, but in general, I think it is not good the way the internet is set up, where it's about attention, because that's saying, like, that's where the hot takes come from.
Yeah.
And so that encourages both people to say crazy shit that gets a big reaction and people to form that big reaction. And both of those tendencies are undeniably very harmful.
Yeah.
But there might be a way to like salvage having some sort of internet communication that isn't like that, because it's not based on like this critical mass of attention,
Yeah.
So
we go back to validation again. I don't know. I don't have the answer. What's your answer? How do you fix the world?
I don't know. See, I look at things very differently from I think you two do.
Okay, fucker.
Well, no.
Kevin's problematic.
I am. I'm very problematic. No, so I used to make video games.
Right.
And when I first started, I was doing, even though I was working for a big company, I was doing these very trivial games. And like anytime there's ever a review or a comment on the like very early internet or something, it was always like these, like almost like when the local newspaper does a story about you know, some high school student who was, you know, did great in the science fair. And that's how they always felt. Until finally, I remember this moment so clearly. I walked into a Target, grabbed a game magazine. So I knew they were doing a review of a game I worked on, opened it up, and like in huge like font at the very top was like, you know, a flawed premise, executed even worse or something. I don't know why, but I bought every copy of that magazine that Target had. That is in my office. Out of everything I ever worked on gaming, the only thing I actually have up was this one terrible review that I got one time. Because I think for me, that finally made me, it felt real.
That you made it?
Yes. Like this wasn't,
That's interesting.
This wasn't just a, oh, good job, you tried. You know, this was actually like a, no, there were expectations and you failed, you know.
That's interesting.
And that made me go, you know what? I'm actually doing this now. This is real. This is.
Yeah. I used to say that about Channel 101, you know, like when people would be like, oh, I made an episode and people didn't like this one other than the last one. I go, well, that's a luxury because that means you made more than one. You know, like, I mean, it's a luxury to go with like Rick and Morty is like, oh, this season is not as good as last season. And it's like, well, we're on season 8. I mean, like that's that.
I hate when like someone's like, this is the worst episode of the season or something. Like,
I say that.
but here's the thing, like, and I'm talking to that person, like, look, buddy, there are 13 episodes. Do you expect them to be equal quality? Because if you don't expect them to be equal quality, one of them is going to be the worst episode.
Yeah.
That is how numbers work. Yeah. So like the idea is like, I identified that a set of things could have a lowest number. It's like, Jesus Christ, amazing work. Like, that's incredible that you managed to figure that out.
Yeah.
Fucking Sherlock.
Yeah. And to you, because comedy is subjective and art is subjective and stuff like that, your worst episode ever might be someone's, you know, instead of it being like, you know, like a -1, somebody might think it's like a 7 or, you know, some people might think it's a 10. I don't know. Yeah. You know, I mean, I gravitate to stuff that most people don't like. So I'm probably going to write those.
I think it's better to have things that people really like and really hate more than things that get lukewarm reaction.
Yeah, that's my curse and blessing is that people either really love what I do or they really hate what I do.
Which is tough when you want validation.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what somebody told me once though is like, you know, having people care so much about what you worked on to have a negative reaction is a luxury that you shouldn't forget.
That's kind of what I mean about that. Like their comments are their heart. You know, it's like, they're just like it's such a privilege to be able to like have the capacity to make stuff. And a lot of people don't, you know, all they do is comments. And so it's like, yeah, this is like, my thing might not have been super good, but it's better than the best comment I've ever left on anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder what was the best comment I ever left.
I bet you left some choice comments in your day.
Yeah. I did a good reply once that I'm pretty proud of.
Was it Schrabbing? Were you Schrabbing someone?
It might have been early days of Schrabbing. But somebody, I posted a video where I put a fart noise under like Iron Man flying or something like that. And somebody says, ugh, was this made by a 12-year-old? And I wrote, no, I'm an 11-year-old genius. And I thought that was pretty fun.
You know, you should have said is, no, it was made by Chat GPT.
Yeah.
In whatever year this was.
Right.
And they'd be like, what are you talking about?
What are you fucking talking?
That doesn't even mean anything to me. I'm so fucking stupid that I'm not in 2023.
Yeah.
So I really liked talking to you. Is there any areas of discussion that you were interested in getting into that we missed, or anything that you think we should cover before we call it quits?
Wrap it up. I don't know. I'm trying to just think of like, what do you do to maintain good mental health in your week to week? Like something like if you have like a thing that you're not to get too personal with it, but are you a big meditator? Do you bury your feelings? What is, do you know, like I'm always, cause I'm always struggling with trying to just maintain a a level of happiness and at least a baseline of happiness. There are there days where you wake up and go, ooh, it's not going to happen. Or I don't know if you're like that, because I do.
Yeah.
I wake up and I go, it's not going to happen today. And by it happening, it's not like, ooh, the inspiration. Well, it's like, I'm going to be sad all day today.
I haven't had a lot of days like that lately.
You have?
No, I haven't.
That's good.
I don't know why. But it used to be like, yeah, I can't go to work today. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I haven't had days like that in a while.
Yeah.
Well, not a long time, but like I used to be like, I would save all my sick days for that, and now it's been a while since
I used to have those like pretty like once a week, and now it's more like once a month.
Yeah. For me,
It's good.
I think of health as, well, the way I like to think about health is I have a fallback foundation. Whereas when I feel like I'm getting too out there and things are falling apart, like it feels like you're spinning a lot of plates and then one of them starts to fall and then all of them start to clatter. And so when I'm feeling that feeling, I'll go back to my foundation of health, which is try and hike as much as you can. I used to hike every morning, and now I work in the morning, so I can't. But I hike every other morning when I'm not working, and which is 4 days a week right now, or 3 sometimes. So I try to hike or other exercise. I think is important because I just hate so much how important exercise has been to my mental health. It's just like night and day. I just feel so much more resilient.
Interesting.
And then the other thing is in the morning, I'll drink water, a big glass of water, and have about a serving or 2 of broccoli, like as breakfast before I do most other things. Unless I'm hiking, I'll usually do that after I'm done hiking, which is weird, but, and so that's my foundation. And then from there, I try to step it out into eating better, monitoring, my calorie intake, trying to exercise more. But the 2 things, the morning water and broccoli, and then the hiking as much as I can, are like my foundation. And again, if all the plates have fallen down, now it's like, okay, I'm going to start with 1 plate. Once I'm feeling good about that, see if I can add 1 more, slowly start to build. Because the urge is to do all the plates back again, and that never fucking works.
No.
And if anything, it can lead to huge backslide.
Yeah.
But to just be like, okay, I'm just going to focus on this one thing, feel good about that for a while, slowly build. That's been really crucial to me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a great, because that's the one thing that you really can control is what you put into your body, and walking and exercising does help. I've noticed that jumping into a cold shower also helps when I'm in just a mode of numbness where I'm just sitting there, like I can't move.
Mm-hmm.
Or I get stuck doom scrolling or whatever.
That's smart.
The idea is to just I have to shock myself into a fight or flight mode. The easy way to do that is just to go in the shower and turn it on as cold as possible. And then more often than not, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to draw something, or I'm going to edit something or do something, I think that, helps. But I'm slowly getting out of because I've been in a mode where I've been very laying around a lot, watching Columbo.
Yeah. I'm in that mode too. You have anything, Kevin?
Kevin,
health?
Kevin, what do you do? What's your secret for being so happy? You've been smiling this whole time.
Happy.
He's always smiling.
No, my trick is to just surround myself with the smartest people I can find.
Yeah.
My happiest place is being the dumbest person in a room full of people.
Oh.
Because you're always going to learn something new. You're always going to improve yourself. It's why I work with you two. It's why I introduced myself to Harmontown before, and all this was I saw you guys as being geniuses at what you do. And, I do the same thing at my day job. I worked with incredibly smart people there. Yeah. At home, Ariel's one of the funniest people I've ever known, and I want to be more like her, she pushes me too. So I think that's, if I have a secret, that's what it is always put yourself around people who are better at things you want to be good at.
Yeah. That's true.
You'll never be bored then.
Yeah. I have a hard time getting smart people to like me, though.
I don't know. There's this.
I've been hanging out with Rick Baker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Who's Rick Baker?
He's a makeup effects artist. He did American Werewolf in London, Men in Black. He's
Oh,
the
yeah.
genius guy.
Okay.
I went to his house and he showed me around like his basement where all of like the Planet of the Apes, the Gremlins 2, all of the maquettes and all the Men in Black aliens, the Grinch costume he built for Ron Howard, Jim Carrey. It's like the Martin Landau, a full-size Martin Landau from Ed Wood, perfectly detailed, like hair on the fingers, like just gorgeous work, just amazing work. So yeah,
That's awesome.
that was kind of that kind of goes. I go, well, I can die now.
Yeah.
I ate pizza with Rick Baker and I didn't say anything too stupid.
Maybe that's what you got to do is just go find out, find more people like that.
Yeah.
Like, let me just try and meet up with this and go look in their basement. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was looking for what you guys and all of us said, where I was listening to this, or I was watching this documentary and they were talking about how like the 3 things that you really can control, that it was this documentary called Stutz. I don't know that I'd recommend it, but it had some good ideas in it. But it was like is like you work on your life force. It's like things you can control. So one of them is yourself, which is like self-compassion, self-reflection, and like shadow work, which is like a therapy concept.
What's shadow work?
You should look into shadow work. But shadow work is Jungian. Jung has the idea of the shadow, which is the part of yourself that you hide from the world. And also kind of like when you're your own harshest critic, you're usually criticizing your shadow. And shadow work is about reframing your relationship with your shadow as to be less adversarial. Because like for me, it's like, you're stupid, you're a piece of shit, no one loves you, you don't work very hard, nothing matters. And so that's your inner critic. It's like personifying all the negative beliefs that it's often parental systems, but other family factors have like instilled in you. It's like what it's trying to do is protect you from those kinds of attacks from like alternative possible like parental figures. And so if you do everything right to the inner critic, then you won't be hurt. But the thing is, that's not how it works. But the inner critic is a thing that's trying to protect you, right? And trying to be your, like an ally for yourself. Yeah. So reframing the way you relate to your shadow as being less adversarial and less of an argument and more like, look, I know you're trying to protect me. I'll listen to what you're saying, but it's coming from a place of fear. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So we'll take those feelings you, the shadow, are having, but we're not going to argue with them. Yeah. We're not going to yell at them. We're not going to use them to beat me up. Yeah. We're going to use them to be reflective and kind of mindful.
RuPaul would call that the inner saboteur. And like his advice is always like, you can take a peek, but that's it. And it's like I had like a therapist that was like talking to that voice and saying, I know you're trying to help me. I know you care a lot about me and you just want me to be safe and not get hurt. But I got to ask you to chill out right now. I got this. Yeah, I'm doing something scary on purpose because going through it is going to be beneficial.
Yeah, and this isn't my childhood. This is safe.
Yeah, I'm an adult. I know how to do this. I might not know how to do it now, but once I get there, I'll know how to figure it out because I've done this before. And I trust myself. I need you to trust me to just pipe it for a second. And if there might be a moment where I got to go ask you for your opinion, but until then, you got to stop whispering in my ear. And I think having like that kind of conversation with yourself is incredibly healthy.
It is. I don't know if this is pseudoscience, but like my understanding is like having that argument, like amps your adrenaline and like the stuff that it creates severe emotions, and that stuff makes the inner critic, the shadow, more powerful. Yeah. So trying to argue with it doesn't help, but like being conciliatory to it like engages a different part of your mind that like kind of push, like strengthens the push.
Yeah. Just to understand that you're both on the same side.
Right.
You both want it basically, I think the voice of the inner saboteur is my parent.
It is.
Is like, I know you don't want me to go out tonight because you don't want me to get hit by a car or abducted or whatever. But I'm 55 years old and I need to see my friend.
Yeah. But
So shut up.
yeah, because the inner critic is a construct you create to protect yourself from your parents. Like literally, that's what it is.
I know that there's a chance that this thing I'm about to write might not go anywhere.
And that's,
And it's going to hurt when it might not go anywhere, if it does go nowhere. But I'm willing to take that risk because this is important to me. I want to finish this.
yeah. But yeah, so that's the shadow or whatever. But the three things are working on yourself like that, working on others, which is friendship, community, and intimacy.
Yeah.
And then working on your body, which is sleep, movement, and diet. And so it's like, there's not a lot in this world we can control. Those are three things we have a good amount of control over. And, not total control, but, if you're like, what do I do to feel better? Trying to work on one of those things is usually a good route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working, I when I was in the best shape of my life, I was like also the most depressed I ever was. But I was like, I can't have a girlfriend. I can't have the success of my job, but I can exercise every day. Like that is something. Or I also was like, I can do my dishes. I can clean up my house.
Yeah, that's Jordan Peterson. When he talks about cleaning your room. That's,
I
mean, that's like, it helped. Like,
it's just like I can have, the short answer is I can have pride in myself, and if I have pride in myself, how can I think I'm a loser if I'm in like, oh, you're in really good shape, you're healthy, and your home is so clean. Things I think will build off of that too.
And also I think it's just like, you have this, it's not conscious necessarily, but when your room is all messed up or everything's messed up, you kind of subconsciously are like, this is happening to me. And it's like, well, I can fix it. That reframes it as like, this is a choice I made.
Yeah. I used to never make my bed. That was when I lived alone. I would like never make my bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the point of making my bed? No one's coming over and I'm going to just unmake it anyway. And then when I started like going, no, I'm going to make my bed. Because there was a part of me that would walk into my bedroom to get something and see my bed unmade and clothes on the floor and go,
Exactly.
And I'm like, I can at least get rid of the,
And that's progress.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Well, Kevin, what do you do?
well, final thoughts, Kevin? Take us
Final thoughts. No, I think the world would be a better place if everyone was kinder to each other.
Fuck you.
No, it's a cold
It's true.
world.
I think it's not true.
I do. I think it's true. I think if people would take into consideration how much what they say affects, or not say, but put out there,
Yeah.
affects everybody. There's stuff that I'll read and just kind of go, and that person is like on the other side of the world, or I have no idea who they are. It just adds to the sadness. And if people would go, if I write blah 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 blah, it's going to make 6 million people have a shitty minute. If they would consider that that's a possibility, I don't think people think that it would be.
No, they don't. No.
They don't. But everybody is like, you know how when you would drive and somebody would like get too close to you or cut you off, you go, you fucking idiot. And you would say it only to the car. Now we're just saying it to everybody online.
That's
and we're and the reason we're going, you fucking idiot, because there's not going to be any repercussion. We know that person we don't see that person seeing it as reacting to that or whatever. So of course we're going to just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I wish people would be nice. I wish I don't see the drawback of kindness.
I think it would destroy everything. But what, Kevin, did you have any other, was that the end of your thought? Did you?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
Like it's free to be nice, and I think you're right with the way comments work and things like that. Now, you don't get that buzz of seeing that you made somebody happy, so you might as well just be a jerk, and things like that. And we set up a whole system of perverse incentives.
Yeah.
And I wish it was different.
Well, here's a movie pitch. Being kind, it now costs money.
Being mean costs money.
There you go.
You get paid to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like being kind is free, but if you want to be mean, it's like you gotta put a quarter in.
That could work. You have to be nice for like a long time to be rich, and then you can spend it all on being really mean, and no one can get mad about it because it's like, well, he's spending, man.
He was such a nice guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, you were about to say something.
No, I wasn't.
You were.
I'm finished.
I'm finished too. Kevin, are you finished?
I'm done.
Goodbye.
I'm seeing a lot of zeros blinking behind me.
Yeah, that's been going for 20 minutes. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.